Hi Aquarius, the Awakened Dreamer here to give you your general monthly tarot reading for the month of June 2021. Thank you so much for joining me, and I do want to remind you, of course, to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. But we're going to do a simple 6-card spread for the month to tarot spread to give you a bit of an outlook of what to expect in the upcoming month. But when meditating on your energy overall for the month, the message that came through was making better choices. Making better choices. So let's do some shuffling. What do we have for our lovely Aquariuses to begin for the month of June 2021? Thank you, Spirit. For Aquarius. Okay. Ooh, we have 4. Wow, good energy for the most part. And we have 2 remaining, which we're going to pull right from the top of the deck. Okay. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Page of Swords. There's going to be an underlining focus on certain knowledge that you've been gaining or will gain throughout the month of June, as well as certain messages that will come through from other people, but remember that it's straight from the universe, from Spirit, to help you head in the right direction, or to continue to do so. All right? And so we're beginning the month in the spread with the 8 of Swords. You begin the month of June feeling a bit restricted, feeling like certain choices you made recently left you in this spot, regretting certain moves and choices, but understanding that, you know what, even though they weren't the best, they were still meant to be. You know, there were lessons to be learned, and certain steps that you took back, horribly put, in order to move forward, you had to take a few steps back. Allowing for yourself to remember that these restrictions you're experiencing at this time are temporary, and that all you need to do is trust your instincts, your gut feeling when moving forward in order to make better choices. Okay? Allow for the reflection that takes place at the beginning of the month to be a positive one, to not allow it to spiral you into any sort of depression or negative thinking, but to allow it to move you into a state of mind where you want to improve yourself and improve your situation. Okay? And we're making our way to the middle of the first half of the month and spread, and we have the Ace of Cups. It's this part of the month where you can't help but focus and think about new beginnings, fresh starts, and your change of perspective and outlook leaves you feeling 10 times more abundant, like your cup is simply overflowing. And it's this point in the month as well where Spirit in the universe is more able to give you reminders or make it clear to you that you deserve 10 times more than you've experienced recently. And that's because you're more open to these reminders, this communication. When at times you're left in a spot, or a negative funk rather, it's again 10 times harder for Spirit to communicate with you. And it's this point in the month where you fully grasp and realize that your perspective plays a huge part in your level of abundance. Okay? And moving on to the 3rd card, we have the Wheel, or the Wheel of Fortune. So to wrap up the first half of the month, you start to see things happen for you. You start to see that wheel churn, even if it hasn't been recently. Understanding that you took a few steps back, or you made a few wrong choices recently, but if I haven't mentioned already, it all happened for a reason. You wouldn't have been able to experience things the way you did if you didn't make a few choices, or step in the wrong direction at times. Remembering that life is a bit of a trial and error when experiencing what you need to and what you don't need to. Allowing for yourself at this point to be reminded from Spirit in the universe as well that luck is on your side. But you simply need to trust your gut feeling, your intuition, when making better choices. There are certain people around you at this point in the month who will probably doubt you, given that you haven't made the best choices recently. But at the same time, moving forward, you will find it 10 times easier to prove them wrong. It may feel like a bit of a balancing act as you're trying to accomplish everything at this point in the month, but for whatever reason, things just start to happen smoothly. You start to see things fall into place, maybe in small ways, but either way, it feels good. All right? And so we're making our way to the second half of the month in spread. And we have the sun. These little improvements, these little ways that things are falling into place, even though that was horribly put, leave you feeling extremely happy, feeling really good. Certain successes come over you and take place, and you just feel like jumping for joy. You're glowing differently, you're feeling better, your mindset is 10 times better. And once again, it's leaving you feeling abundant and being aligned with the Eight of Swords. You can't help but think back once again to certain restrictions and limitations that you've experienced recently because of certain iffy choices, but understanding that once again it all took place for a reason, and your outlook plays a huge part in how happy you are about your situation. Understanding that things may not be perfect at this point, but they're going to improve, and more rapidly than you or even people around you expect. Allowing for these limitations and restrictions to sort of begin to or continue to fade from your situation. Allowing for your happiness and positive, optimistic mindset to inspire those around you as you improve your situation rapidly. Moving on to the middle of the second half of the month, and we have the Hierophant. Expect for this part of the month to be very spiritually connected, even if it's not something you're used to. Allowing for, ooh, I'm hearing a ringing in my ear. That may be something you experience at this point as well. Allowing for the connection that you experience at this point to inspire you to continue to move in the right direction. There's a feeling that you may get a bit distracted at this point as well. Allowing for this good feeling to take over, but don't get too distracted from the completion of your goals. Move in the direction you need to, but enjoy it as well, okay? Be aligned with the Ace of Cups. It's this middle of the second half of the month where you realize that your mindset, once again, plays a huge role in the level of abundance you experience, as well to trust in that gut feeling, that intuition that has been growing over time, to allow for your spiritual connection or your connection to the universe, however you view it, to help you feel more abundant or to help you increase the level of abundance that you deserve in this lifetime. There are going to be certain reminders and synchronicities that you experience as well at this point in the month to remind you of what you deserve. Allowing for this point in the month to remind those around you, even those who doubt you, that you're still blossoming, you're still growing, and to teach those as well without meaning to, that judging too preemptively is not the way to be. That you are still, I'm seeing a flower start to grow and blossom as you continue to make better choices once again. We're making our way to the last and final card of the spread and month. We have the Six of Cups. So you finish off the second half of the month, or the month in general, and you're feeling a bit nostalgic. There's a feeling that you can't seem to stop thinking about certain memories, even though they weren't fully positive or uplifting. And Spirit's saying that this is happening for a reason, in order to teach you something. You wouldn't be continuously thinking of them or having them pop up if they didn't need to. All right, so when they do, simply think about it for a second, ask yourself a few important questions, and figure out what there is to be learned. It's a point where you will continue to grow, learn, and remember that you are making better choices at this point, so don't be too hard on yourself, okay? And being aligned with the wheel. It's the end of the month where you'll still experience this progress, this movement of the wheel, seeing things continue to fall into place slowly but surely, but remembering that overly stressing over the past or those choices that weren't the best isn't going to help you. You know, you learn, you grow from them, and then you gotta move on, you know? To dwell on them once again is not going to help you, okay? It's going to be very clear to finish up the month that these choices were purposeful, even if they left things feeling a bit rocky at times. Allowing for yourself to remember that you are still a human, you know, you're still growing, you're still blossoming once again. And that nobody's perfect, all right? But I do truly feel that you'll finish off the month feeling very abundant in how things are progressing, all right? So I hope this was truly helpful, my lovely Aquarians. As always, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment if you haven't already. I hope you have the most amazing month, and I'll see you next time. Bye.